So when thinking about migrating to the cloud, some of the things that people need to really think about are, first off, not persisting the same problems. A lot of people do a lift and shift. I have some on-prem storage, I'm going to move to the cloud, my problems are solved. Simply not true. You're persisting the same challenges of locating content, organizing content, duplication to the cloud. So have a strategy. At Altana, we always make to ensure that we are clear with the client from an operational perspective, not just a technology perspective of how to do the migration. The second thing, which is kind of an obvious one, but it's amazing how many times it comes up, is bandwidth. We can move to the cloud, great. I have 150 terabytes on premise. I only have a 400 meg link. Do the math, that's going to take time. So work with a system which is able to index on-prem and be able to move to the cloud and maybe prioritize based on project requirements, but have proxies that allow you to view content, whether it be on cloud or prem. So yeah, don't just lift and shift.
Some of the real key factors to take into account include, obviously, again, what sort of commercial model is being used, and then align that with the workflows that you've got to ensure that you're not getting any surprises in terms of unexpected bills. I think also there's a requirement to understand what your exit is from a cloud platform, because if you don't know how you're going to leave a cloud platform and they've kind of got you by the data, I think you really need to understand that that's not a good situation for you and your organization and the portability of your content. So understanding where your data is, how easy can I get it back, and at what cost.
I think some common mistakes or potentially some common sort of missteps that some organizations or production companies looking to move into the cloud might make is not thinking with a long-term solution. They think, oh, I just need to get this archived, I'll go to whatever's either cheapest or most reputable. And then they get locked in both on price and on locality. So you can go to companies like AWS and go, okay, cool, if it's in AWS, I know it's okay. And then suddenly you realize, well, wait a second, I'm paying $24 a terabyte, and if I use their Glacier service, it's going to cost a kidney to pull it out. And they've kind of locked you into that, and there's really nothing you can do about it except for eat some humble pie. And then you have some other, more, how would you say, budget solutions or, regional solutions that are more typical. But the problem there is you could archive your entire media library to, let's just say, US East. And then suddenly your organization becomes national. Now what? Suddenly your organization becomes international. Now what? And in a land where we're shooting more and more remote productions in more and more different places, more and more chasing tax credits, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure in a sense by locking yourself into, well, it's fast in New York, but what about on the West Coast? But what about in Europe? And that could be a sort of a soft form of vendor lock-in a sense, because the only solution to that is to replicate the data across multiple regions and across multiple data centers. And now all the price savings that you just tried to save just got exponentially more expensive. So that's why, companies and organizations like Storj are really changing the game on this.